Mr. Chairman Jarrett, Mr. Chairman Mike, back there, my good buddy. I have officers for my party. Phil is doing the Facebook feed to streamline it. He's my vice chairman. I got my second vice chairman here. I have my treasurer down there. So we're well represented in Dutchess County. Right? Another little note, if you don't mind. We kicked Cuomo's ass in Dutchess County this past year. And every one of you people do the same thing in your county. You can do it. Don't let it interfere with your county. We kicked his butt and still licking his hands. I just want you to know that. It wasn't me, it was my committee, Republicans and the Conservatives as a whole, working together to keep him out of Dutchess County. So that's just a little note. You can do it. Don't look at me like I'm faced here. Damn it, you can do it. Every one of you. So there's a note over here, Sean Marie says, make it quick. See you later. How's everyone today? Okay, good. I have a note here to introduce my next speaker. Sean Marie wrote this down for me. Jackie Joe went up, no, that ain't it. The next speaker, I kind of know on and off. We had conversations about gun people voting, getting registered to vote. In New York State, we have over 10 million gun owners. 10 million. Probably more than that by now, Tom. We can neutralize New York City in their vote. That's 10 million. And they have a spouse, they have a girlfriend, they have grandma, they have whatever you want to have. So there's more people that can vote. I challenge all you chairmen to get involved with your county and to go to your gun clubs, hand out voter registration forms, and let's get this ball rolling. We can't take this crap anymore, what they're doing to this guy and what they're doing to us. We can't handle it no more. So I challenge you all the chairmen to do something about it. I sure as hell am going to do it in Dutchess County, and you can do it in your counties too. All right, enough of the soapbox. This next guy, he's a gun rights activist. He lobbies with the New York State. He lobbies the New York State legislature. Cool, get out through the from the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association. He also lobbies the federal government in conjunction with the NRA. The action committee they have. He was the NRA ILA volunteer organization volunteer of the year, in the year 2006. He used his candidacy. I hate reading crap. I like calling it. He got the candidacy. He was on the NRA board of directors, and he expressed his belief in the Second Amendment, which refers that every American citizen has the right to keep and bear the firearm of his or her choice, wherever and whenever he chooses. And it just doesn't mean New York State. Tom King, come on up.
There's some candy up here, but we haven't had it in a while it's there. Good to see you too. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the opportunity to come to speak with you, and I have to especially thank Chairman Kassar and Sean Marie, and also everyone who's here in attendance. It's really great to see people who are motivated, going out and trying to make a difference in New York State. You know, every joke is every speech is supposed to start out with a joke. And I had a joke that I used to tell that everybody loved, but the press got a hold of it, and they accused me of being everything from a misogynist to a woman hater to an animal hater and all that. So I had to change my opening line. Okay? And a friend of mine who's been a past speaker here, he was a keynote speaker one time, a great spokesperson, said, here's the advice that I give you. If your speech is long, it better be good. If it's bad, it better be short. And if you really bottom out, give them candy. So I'm trying to play all the bases here right now. But anyway, let's get down to business. I have some key words here. and I'm sure many of the speakers have brought it up. Criminal justice, right to life, bail reform, corruption, the Second Amendment. Guess which one I'm interested in? All of them. But as a Second Amendment advocate, I preach the Second Amendment. And there are so many things going on in the legislature right now that it's near impossible to talk about all of them. Sean Marie asked me to speak about some of the insurance bills that are going through. It's impossible. I had a career in insurance. I've read the bills and I don't understand it, okay? But what really, it begs the question is, the state legislature and the governor is trying to force the Rifle and Pistol Association members, the NRA members, and the gun owners in New York State to purchase insurance, while a year and a half ago, he stopped the NRA from selling the insurance that he's trying to mandate now to the people of New York State. I think that's absolutely amazing that he's doing that. And, you know, and he did it through the Department of Financial Services. Has anybody ever thought about, you know, there's an acronym for everything in Albany, okay? Department of Financial Services, DOFS. Isn't that doofus? Because that's the way they act most of the time, okay? What is happening? What are the goals of the Democrats, the liberals, the socialists, the communists in Albany and around the nation? Is it strictly gun control? No, it's not. It's people control, it's mind control, it's speech control. And there's no one that's more involved in this than the NRA. The NRA is on the tip of the spear regarding this. They're, as soon as New York filed their suits against us, the 4 or 5 other jurisdictions around the state did also, around the country did also. And it's really amazing, because what are they doing here? They're weaponizing government. Think about that for a minute. They're trying to control your right to have a firearm, but yet they're weaponizing the biggest society there is in the United States, government. And they're doing it in just insidious ways, little laws that will keep you from saying what you mean. Not being able to post certain things on the internet, okay? Being investigated if you speak your mind on the internet. There's a case right now that we're handling where a person reiterated what someone said from out of state about the government, about the governor, and he said, I'm not advocating violence against anybody, but you know, they have a right to speak their mind, and maybe he was right. He got investigated and got arrested. We're defending him right now, and the judge looked at this, and he said, "What are you doing here? How could you possibly? You threaten no one. You're a well-spoken pillar of the community. You repeated what something that somebody else said. Why can they arrest you and bring you into my court?" It hasn't been settled yet, but I think from what the judge says, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. That's weaponizing. That's weaponizing government. That's trying to intimidate you so that you're afraid to speak up. And I think that's what's happened in New York State. You look at the people all around you. There are so many things. If it wasn't for some of the people in this room, and for people like Tom King and other people who speak up, it just wouldn't. No one would say anything. And we're at the point where we have to speak up. If we don't, it's going to be all over, folks. It's going to be all over. Now, we in turn, the NRA, has in turn, I'm on the board of directors of the NRA, we have sued the state, we've sued Doofus, yeah, I'm glad you're all sitting down, because what you're about to hear is absolutely amazing as far as I'm concerned. Two of the most liberal, well, one of the most liberal and one so-so newspaper actually did articles supporting the NRA's position in their fight against New York, okay? And talked about our lawsuits. But even more importantly, everybody knows the ACLU. Well, and you know what they usually stand for? They did an amicus brief in support of our suit against the state, a very, very strong amicus brief that has turned heads, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a landmark that people can now work off of, because if the ACLU will get behind the NRA, everything is possible. And we're planning on moving forward from there. But that's not where it stops. It's only the beginning. What we have to do is we have to take back the state politically. I know it's a huge task. But we do have almost 10 million gun owners in New York State. We have gun clubs all over the state. We have people who want to get involved, but nobody asks them to get involved. We have to reach out to them. We have a program we're putting on. It's called Rally the Vote for this 2020 election, and we're planning on going out all over the state, trying to register voters and get them to come out, get active and vote. But it's all of our jobs to do that. We have to change the political climate in New York State. We have to make people proud to be able to stand up and not be worried that if they say something, they're going to be arrested, or they're going to be investigated, or they're going to lose their job. And that's what's going on right now. And that's bogus. It's actually, I would have used another word if it wasn't for this new group that's here. But it is. It's bogus. Okay. We have to stop this bull from going on. Now, people say, well, something has to happen to get these people motivated. Yeah, it does. You know what we need to be motivated, to motivate people? The biggest response I get is, there's nobody to vote for. That's right, there's nobody to vote for. There are people not running for positions. There are Democrats running unopposed for I don't know how many positions in New York State as we speak. I went through the list yesterday, and it was sickening. Okay, we have to get good candidates. It doesn't have to be. We're tired of voting for the lesser of two evils, and when that happens, after a while, people stay home. Okay, and you look at the response early on with President Trump, where people in New York, that Republicans in New York, were condemning him because of his principles and what they thought were his principles. And all I know is so far he's been the most successful president in my lifetime. He's done what he said. The legislature is a disaster. I mean, a disaster. Why is that? You know, I don't want to cast the blame on anybody, but it's like I said earlier, there are no candidates. Okay, we're losing candidates every day in the Senate. The Assembly, it has been behind an 8 ball, but they're working at it. I think the leadership is doing a halfway decent job. I'm really confident that the new leader in the assembly is going to push forward. Maybe we can pick up some seats. Right now, in the Senate, in the Assembly, there are 166, give or take a few, because the writing was so small I may have lost count. Somewhere 166 anti-gun and anti-liberty bills in the Senate and the Assembly. Most of them are anti-gun, but there's a few that I look at the title of them and I go, oh jeez. You know, and you have to do this. You have to look at what these people are doing, and you have to make your people know that they are the ones that are responsible for what's going on. And that's a hard piece to sell. But it's the truth. If they don't come out and vote, if all of our people don't come out and vote, they're the ones that are responsible for where we stand today. And it's up to us to get them off their butts, get them out, and get them to vote. Now, I'm kind of happy and I'm kind of anticipating what's going to happen this year in the 2020 elections. You know, we have some really good congressional people out there, you know, that are running for office. You know, we got Liz Joy, Elise Stefanik, Nicole Malatakis, Lee Zeldin, Shel Farley, Claudia Tenney, and they're people that have new ideas, who have principles based in your and my core beliefs. And that's the important thing, the core belief. That's what our politicians have to stand for, and that's what they have to strive to do in the Assembly, and also in the Senate, and in the entire United States. We have core beliefs that this country was founded on. We have to make sure that they stay in the forefront. Now, I think that there's a triumvirate that's formed, okay? And that is Jerry Kassar and the Conservatives, Nick Langworthy and the Republicans, and the Second Amendment Foundation, or the Second Amendment community with me. We've all talked, and we're going to work very hard this year to try to rejuvenate the populace, and particularly the voters. And it really needs to be done. I'm sure that it can be done. I know it can be done. If you listen to all of the people that complain, there are people that are upset, that are just waiting for somebody to stand up and say, follow me, here's what we got to do. We have to be leaders. We have to take them a little bit out of their comfort level to show them the way and tell them, don't worry. You know, you're not going to lose your job. You're not going to get fired. You know, but you have to stand up. We have to change the state so that we can change the country. And before I close, I wanted to say it's a good thing that none of you guys took any of the candy that's up here, okay? Because I figured if I bombed out that much and somebody came up and I got it, I was going to get even with them, and I had my dog lick them all before I came over. No, don't worry about that. No. Thank you anyway. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.